Good morning. It's Sober Sunrise again. It's another one. Number 1222, I think. Something like that. For me, it's July 28th. It's Monday. And it's actually 11:05. I woke up and basically went directly to working from home, luckily, and just taking a break from work now to get this recorded. So let's get to it. By the way, if you haven't already, please like the video, even though you haven't really watched the whole thing yet. Go ahead and like it. It's going to be great. And then subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already, please. And thank you. Appreciate you very much. This one says, those who still suffer. Let us resist the proud assumption that since God has enabled us to do well in one area, we are destined to be a channel of saving grace for everybody. Ooh, yeah. That's from AA Comes of Age, page 232. AA groups exist to help alcoholics achieve sobriety. Large or small, firmly established or brand new, speaker, discussion, or study, each group has but one reason for being: to carry the message to the still suffering alcoholic. The group exists so that the alcoholic can find a new way of life, a life abundant in happiness, joy, and freedom. To recover, most alcoholics need the support of a group or other alcoholics to share their experience, strength, and hope. Thus, my sobriety and our program's survival depend on my determination to put first things first. Very important one. This is very, very, very good. And I have a lot of thoughts about this. It's good stuff. Let's go back to the top. Let us resist the proud assumption that since God, or in my case, my higher power, has enabled me to do well in one area, I am destined to be a channel of saving grace for everybody. Yeah. If I haven't already mentioned it, which I know I have a big ego problem sometimes. And I know I'm not alone in that. One of those people who, as soon as I have a little bit of success or confidence in something, I instantly become an expert. And even though I'm not an expert, and start to want to spread the joy and spread the knowledge and the information to anyone and everyone who is willing to listen, and even some people who don't want to listen. And it's a mistake that I make. The proud assumption that since my higher power is enabling me to do well in one area, that I'm somehow this messiah and savior for everybody and can fix all their problems, and I have all the answers. I don't. I don't have all the answers. And I have to catch myself when I start to get into that mode of thinking that I'm like this guru and that I'm so wise. You guys, I mean, 1,222 days of sobriety is great, but that does not make me an expert in recovery, sobriety, spirituality, anything really. It makes me an expert on staying sober for 1,222 days. And that's just me staying sober for 1,000. It's not you staying sober for 1,222 days. So, have to rein it in and stay humble and understand that, like, sure, I might be able to help, but I'm no expert. I still have questions that I need answered. So just checking myself and keeping myself from coming off as this, like, expert, this wise sage, and having all the answers. It's only to conflate my own ego, and it's coming from a place of an inferiority complex, sort of, and this need to overinflate myself because I'm compensating for my inferiority complexes in other areas of life. So it's something I'm aware of that I'm working on, but it's also probably something that maybe you're working on as well, or maybe you're just becoming aware of. But I would say that, like, a lot of us have that problem. So it's something to keep an eye on if you can relate to that. So next part, the writer says AA groups exist to help alcoholics achieve sobriety. Seems pretty straightforward. That's the goal. That's the mission. It's not to make money. It's not to gain notoriety. It's not to gain clout in the community. It is not to further our own personal goals. It's just to help alcoholics achieve sobriety. That's it. Large or small, this is relating to the groups, the meetings. Large or small, firmly established or brand new, speaker, discussion, or study, each group has but one reason for being: to carry the message to the still suffering alcoholic. So if you're not that familiar with the different types of meetings, there are things like speaker meetings where basically one person will take up the majority of the time sharing his or her experience, strength, and hope. And that's pretty much it. And you go and you listen and you learn from them. That's a speaker meeting. Discussion or study. A topic could be raised by the secretary or the person running the meeting, where they will open the meeting with some thoughts about something. They might read part of the big book. They might read something from the 12 and 12 or AA Comes of Age or something. They might read something and then open it and then share their thoughts and then open it up for discussion. That's a discussion type of meeting. A study, a book study, where a specific chapter or passage from the book of Alcoholics Anonymous is read, and then the entire rest of the meeting is sharing about that particular part of the book, the part that was read that day. So those are just a few types of different meetings you might find yourself in. But regardless of the type, the reason is still to carry the message to the still suffering alcoholic. The group exists so that the alcoholic can find a new way of life. So I particularly enjoy discussion meetings. I enjoy them all. I can't say one is any better than the other. They all serve their purpose. You sit there, you're absorbing information for a period of time, you're learning something new, you're finding ways that you relate to the people who are sharing the stories that are being shared, the message that's being shared. You're looking for similarities, not differences. And during that period, you don't have to wallow in what's happening outside of the meeting. So it's a way to learn and escape your own troubles at the same time. And it's very, very helpful to be around people who you can relate to. So it's wins all around. You're not alone. You're with people who understand what you're going through. You're learning something, and you're finding similarities with other people. Now, of course, if you're one of the people who goes in there with a preconceived notion that it's a waste of time or you can't take anything away from it, you'll fulfill your own prophecy. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So if you go in with a closed mind and look for all the ways that you're different from everyone else, then you're just wasting your time. So try not to do that. If you're going to go, have an open mind. Otherwise, why are you going? You're wasting your time, and you could be consuming resources that are, finite. They're not. It's not like every meeting has a huge budget for things, and you might be consuming those resources. I'm getting off topic, but sit down and have an open mind. The group exists so that alcoholics can find a new way of life, a life abundant in happiness, joy, and freedom. If that's why you're going, you'll be able to find it with an open mind and an open heart and a willingness to be honest and open and do the work. To recover, most alcoholics need the support of a group or other alcoholics who share their experience, strength, and hope. That's what this is all about. Most of us need that. There are the rare exceptions of people who decide one day to stop drinking and they never go to a meeting and they never drink again. Those are those are exceptional people who, for whatever reason, they choose not to want to be around other people who are going through what they're going through, and they're able to make it work. Most of us can't do that. We need some help. And that's okay, because I feel like getting the help and being a part of a community will give you a life of abundance and joy and happiness. And doing it all by yourself, maybe you're one of the exceptions and it works for you, but how much abundance and happiness and joy do you actually get from it? Thus, my sobriety and our program's survival depend on my determination to put first things first. So for me, putting first things first is, what is the first thing? The first thing is admitting that I'm still powerless over alcohol and that my life had become unmanageable and that I have to abstain 100% from it every single day. There's no taking a break from sobriety. And when the thought pops in that, hey, I've gone 3 years and 4 months and however many days, I could have a weekend and no one would even know about it. And I could just go back to, if I did it for 3 years before, I can get right back to it again. Why not just give myself a break? And when I start to go down that path, I know that I'm not working hard enough. Because if I'm even considering that, then I'm not doing the work. Because every day I have to remind myself that there is no time off from sobriety. And that's a very slippery slope to go down, that thought process, because I shared in a meeting last night that, when I first went to meetings, and most of us do this, we start to compare ourselves to the stories we hear from other people. And for me, I had a kind of a high bottom where my rock bottom compared to other people's rock bottoms wasn't as scary. And then I start to think, am I really an alcoholic? And this is what I was thinking when I was early on in my recovery. Do I really belong here? All those things. Looking for any hope that I could still continue drinking because I loved it so much, even though it was miserable. And anyway, instead of thinking about all the reasons why I'm not like that person, I remind myself that I'm not like that yet. But one more time, going back out one more time, having one more drink, who knows what I'm capable of becoming? I could be the one who suddenly has DUIs and suddenly has jail time and suddenly is in the legal system and loses my son and loses everything because I wanted one weekend of fun and went crazy. Or maybe I wanted one weekend of fun and it went fine and I had a few and everything was fine. So I decided I could do it again. And then a few more months go by and I decided, I can do it again. And that's the slippery slope, because my disease doesn't stop at just one or just one weekend. So my first step, my first things first, is always reminding myself that sobriety doesn't take a day off. And my sobriety and my program's survival depends on my determination to put that first every single day. So hopefully this was good reading for me. It's a good reminder that I have to stay focused and I have to keep doing stuff like this. Even on my lunch, like I'm on my break from work right now, I had to get this in. I had to make time to get this in today before it got too late in the day, because I want to be reminded every single day of what's most important. So thank you for listening. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up, because I know this was a valuable video for all of you, 100%. My ego is just telling me how important I am and how important this message is. So please hit the thumbs up, hit the like, help the algorithm to understand that these videos are helpful for people. And yeah, thank you for listening again. I gotta run. I have more work to do in my non-sobriety life. So gotta go. But thank you for listening. I love you all. Whoever you are, wherever you are, whenever you're listening to this, I want you to know that you are enough and you are valuable and you are cared for and loved and supported, and you can do this. And it doesn't matter where you're starting from. Just do the best you can today. And you can do this. You don't have to do it alone, and you shouldn't do it alone. So come back and keep watching more videos, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Okay? Love you all. Have a great day.